Hey, I get it when you're about to spend extra cash on an external DVD drive, you want to be sure it's not just another piece of tech that gathers dust. That's why I dug into the specs, read through a ton of user comments, and actually tried plugging one into a couple of setups before I hit record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why you might even be considering an external optical drive in 2024. Most newer laptops, especially the Ultrabooks and MacBooks, have dropped the internal CD/DVD slot to save weight and thickness. If you still have a library of movies, a stash of old software installers, or you need to burn disks for a client presentation, you end up with that classic, "I wish I had a drive" moment. The Amicool external DVD drive is trying to be the bridge between that nostalgia and the modern USB-C world. It promises plug-and-play, dual USB 3.0 and USB-C connections, and a slim, cable-integrated design that claims you can just toss it in a bag and go. I started by testing the drive on 3 of the most common rigs I see people using: a Windows 10 desktop with a traditional tower case, a 2022 MacBook Air with only USB-C ports, and a budget Linux netbook that only has USB 3.0. The first thing I noticed is that the drive really does live up to the plug-and-play promise. No driver installations, no extra software pop-ups. You connect it, Windows pops a small notification that the disk drive is ready, macOS mounts the disk automatically, and on the Linux box the system recognized it within a couple of seconds. That instant recognition is a big confidence boost for anyone who's ever been frustrated by a stubborn external device that needs a reboot or a driver hunt. The dual interface is the real hidden trade-off here. Having both a USB 3.0 Type A and a USB-C port sounds like a win, but it also means the cable is a little thicker than a single-purpose one. The cable is built into the housing, which keeps the overall package tidy, but it does limit how you can position the drive on a cramped desk. When I tried to prop it on a narrow monitor stand, the cable's bend radius was a bit stiff, and the drive would wobble a little if I nudged the desk. If you plan to keep the drive on a stable surface or inside a laptop bag, you won't notice it, but for a permanent desk setup you might want a separate, shorter cable. Performance-wise, the fast and stable data transmission claim holds up for everyday tasks. Reading a standard 700 megabyte CD took about 8 to 10 seconds, which is comparable to an internal drive. Writing a DVD-R at 4 speed was smooth, and I didn't encounter the burn errors that some cheap drives throw when the disk's surface isn't perfect. The drive's built-in error correction did its job. No corrupted files showed up after I transferred a mixed media folder onto a freshly burned disk. That said, if you're looking for high-speed archival work, the 4 burn rate is modest. Professional duplication rigs can hit 16 or higher, shaving off minutes when you're processing dozens of disks. Now, who should actually buy this? If you're a student who still gets assignments on CDs, a small business owner who occasionally needs to create a backup disk for a client, or a gamer who wants to run older console game disks on a PC, the Amicool drive gives you that flexibility without forcing you to carry a bulky external enclosure. It's also handy for people who travel a lot and need a quick way to read a friend's movie disc on a hotel PC that only has USB-C ports. The fact that it works with Windows, macOS, and Linux out of the box widens the audience. No need to buy a separate model for each OS. On the flip side, if you're a heavy media archivist who plans to rip an entire DVD collection in one weekend, you might find the single drive setup limiting. The drive can only handle one disk at a time, and the modest burn speed means the whole process could stretch over several days. Likewise, if you're buying this solely for playing the occasional Blu-ray, you'll be disappointed. This is a CD/DVD drive, not a 4K Blu-ray player. And if your laptop already has a USB-C hub with power delivery, adding another powered device isn't an issue, but on older USB 2.0 machines the drive will fall back to slower transfer rates, which defeats the purpose of a fast claim. One practical strength that often gets overlooked is the built-in indicator light. It's a small amber LED that tells you whether the drive is reading, writing, or idle. During a long DVD burn, that light gave me a visual cue that the process hadn't stalled, something you don't get with many low-cost external drives that just sit silent. It's a tiny ergonomics win, especially when you're multitasking and need to glance at the desk to confirm activity. A weakness that,